Nuno Espirito Santo has been sacked by Tottenham Hotspur. Let me just read out the club statement. And it says the club can today announce that Nuno Espirito Santo and his coaching staff, Ian Cathro, Rui Barbosa and Antonio Diaz, have been relieved of their duties. Fabio Paratici, managing director of football, said, "I know how much Nuno and his coaching staff wanted to succeed, and I regret that we had to take this decision. Nuno is a true gentleman and will always be welcome here. We should like to thank him and his coaching staff and wish them well for the future. Further coaching update will follow in due course."
Start that 72-day countdown.
Yeah, 75 days maybe. Look, this has happened now. What is your feelings towards it all?
First of all, here we go again.
Yeah.
That's the overriding thing. Here we go again. It's we all knew this was going to happen. It was the worst kept secret coming out of the club. It's now happened, and we move on, and we wait and see what happens today. The writing was on the wall.
But do you think it's the right decision?
Well, it depends who comes in.
Yeah.
It all depends. It's a silly thing to say, but it depends on who comes in. By the looks of it, there may be a plan. We'll talk about that
in a minute.
But listen, the writing was on the wall. The stats were there for all to see. I honestly think the final straw was that reaction to the Lucas Moura substitution. I don't think we're having this conversation if that didn't happen. But with those stats coming in, it was obviously going to happen. It was obviously going to happen. And now the secret is out the bag, and we find out where we go from here. Today will be a very long day. I feel like transfer deadline day today in the studio with you, mate. That's what it feels like.
It does feel a bit like that. But I haven't smiled this much regarding Spurs for probably, I don't know how long, probably since Jose was sacked. And even that was a wrong decision, you know what I mean? But look, I think that it just shows how much of a circus this club is, to be honest. Sacking Nuno, how many months into his tenureship? 2-3 months into his tenureship, after taking 75 days to sign him, to hire him. He is now gone. His coaching staff are gone. It's been, to be honest, it's been absolutely shocking from start to finish with Nuno. I mean, I know we won our first 3 games, but the football was shocking. Apart from that, my Man City game aside, the football was shocking. Since we came back from, the international break, he seemed defeated ever since then, really. You look at him on the sideline, no inspiration. The decisions he's making during games, completely wrong. Schoolboy errors happening in every single game. Do you think his position was untenable, or do you think that we could have given him more of a chance?
So the first question I need to ask you is, are you smiling because of what has happened, or are you smiling because what you think is going to happen? That's the big question, because like I said, I still don't believe it. We'll talk about that. But yeah, listen, is it the right decision? You've got to look at this, and Simon Jordan was saying as well, the players have got a lot to do with this, and whatever goes on now is the next manager that comes in, whoever it may be, has got to get those players and just chuck them out the door, or say, go away, this ain't acceptable, because they know what to do. They know how to get rid of managers, and they have got no problem in doing it. He wasn't backed, back to what he wanted. Obviously hasn't been given time, but the style of football was atrocious, was absolutely shocking.
It's not even like the style of football. Like, I can take like a counter-attacking game or like a team that is a bit pragmatic, right? But it's the decisions he's doing in games. There's lack of game plan whatsoever. I mean, building from the back, we had no plan whatsoever. Our plan was to get it to the centre-backs and play diagonals and try and hit them on the transition. That was literally our only game plan. He failed to come up with a plan B. There was no plan B whatsoever. So, I mean, it was hard to put faith in Nuno. It really was.
It was like you said, the first 3 games we won, and we're all, like with Jose, we're all happy when we win games and when we're top of the league. We were all complaining about the style of play. Maybe not the Man City game, but definitely the Wolves and Watford game. And then after the international break, what an absolute shit show that was.
Yeah.
And players just don't look like they're playing for him. We know people, and like I said, Kane's the first person you go to, but it weren't just Kane. There was a host of players that just did not care, did not put any effort in, and just did not look like they were playing for the 9th choice manager. And it's happened.
Yeah, it's happened. Nuno has left this football club. Look, I don't agree. I didn't want him sacked. I didn't want him sacked in the past weeks. But when you're getting all this news coming through, when you saw the toxicity in the stadium on the weekend, I mean, you just feel like it was the right decision. You just feel like it was the right decision. I don't ever agree with sacking a manager so soon. I really don't. I think people do need time to implement their ideas, but his ideas were just awful. His ideas were awful.
They were, and if you look at it, he kind of had to act as well, because if we'd lost to Vitesse, all right, there would have been much of a crowd there, but then it really would have kicked off, and then the next home game would have been Leeds, and I think it would have been unbearable in there. I really think it would have been unbearable there. There's an international break coming up as well after the Everton game, I believe, so he's got time to, whoever it is that comes in, they've got time to acclimatise, get in there, do whatever they need to do. So time-wise, it was the right time to do it.
Yeah. Completely agree. So that is the state of play right now. Nuno Espirito Santo has been sacked, relieved of his duties this morning. Sky Sports filmed him coming in to work at 9:30 this morning, and about an hour later we got the news that he has been sacked. So Nuno has left the club, and now it is time to see who we are going to get next at this beloved football club.